The following show is a paid program.
Hey family, how you doing? We are here with Sharnette Hyter, the queen of eclectic soul. My girl from Dallas just drove into the building.
What's up, Cam? You know what? I am so glad, and it's such a beautiful day here.
Yes.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Man.
So I enjoyed the ride.
Well, let me tell you, family, what she said. I said, oh, Sharnette, you can go ahead and do virtual. She said, I'm driving.
That's it. That's it. The Cam Hill Show, baby, I am just so glad. And let me tell you something. When I tell you first class, I was like, I can't wait to get off so I can just, do my little selfies. It is so beautiful and immaculate. I feel like I'm in Hollywood. It's beautiful.
We're trying to bring
here.
Hollywood to Houston.
Yes, you brought it.
You brought it,
baby. You said the. Let me tell you something. Game over. Game over. Game over.
I'm telling you, we met. Man, it's been a year now.
Yeah, it has. It has.
Over a year ago, we met.
We met a year ago. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, you were such a pivotal part in just my journey now.
Yes.
Just over a period. And in educating me, calling me about different things, different genres of music and things, just really in helping me. And that really, man, you've been such a friend just to help me in the entertainment and music business and just really, and media period. Yeah. Just help. How did you get into music?
You know what? That question has always been asked. And I think I was always an imitator as a child. I used to, every holiday, I would always be imitating with my cousins. Yeah. And, but I thought I was going to be a ventriloquist. So if you see me talk like this all the time. And I was just an imitator. I was always into mostly theater. And I didn't even start singing till I was in my 20s, but I was in a choir, but I only sang in a choir in school. I was never a lead. I just did it to get out of class. Wow. We go on field trips. Right. I'm gonna be honest. But I started actually taking it seriously in my 20s. And it started out as my brother at the time had a friend, and she was singing in a group, and they needed a third person for a background. And he was like, sister, go ahead and do it. You always singing around the house. I was like, boy, he's like, they get wardrobe, they get clothes, you can travel. I was like, okay, let me see it. And so that was the pivot of my journey into music. And I was actually started out as a little background singer with a group out of Dallas called Deja Vu. Wow. And thanks to Janice Rogers, I always have to give her credit, who's in the ATL, very like a sister to me. And I started with a group and went from a 3-girl group to a 4-girl group to a 2-girl group and then a solo artist.
Wow.
And then I had a hiatus where I stopped singing in 1999. I did start back singing in 2009. And
really?
So, yeah. And so I have to give that credit to a very popular producer that I was doing some artist development with. And he was like, you know what, you ought to try the Southern Soul market. And I was like, what? Because I was originally on a label and I used to sing house and techno music. And so that was the beginning of my journey. And so I wrote a song and it got some radio play, and that was the beginning of my Southern Soul journey. And it has been a wonderful journey.
Wow.
Yeah.
In doing that, I remember us talking about Southern Soul, and we were just talking about, kind of how it started and things. Right. And just statistics show that it's an African-American owned.
Exactly.
Over $1 billion industry. And many people don't know that. We don't know that. Even as a race, we don't know that it really is our own.
Yes, and you know what? I think right now what the Southern Soul movement is doing, there are so many great people and promoters out here all over that are really, really pushing what Southern Soul is. Southern Soul is not new. You have people like Johnny Taylor, Joe Tex. I do a lot of stuff with Joe Tex Jr. the son of Joe Tex, and we got a new single coming out. I got to put that out there too. We're remaking another one of his dad's songs, so I was very honored that he called and wanted to redo another one of his dad's famous hits. So that'll be coming out the first of the year. So I'm excited about that. But back to Southern Soul. The Southern Soul market is not new, and it is from the South. It originated. I mean, it is the heart and soul of who we are. And I think that it is very crucial that all of the Southern Soul artists, that we have to band together and we have to support each other in order for people to take this genre of music seriously. Yeah. I mean, we have some of the best singers out here. Really? I love anybody in the Southern Soul is my brother or sister. Right. And I'm support them 110%. Yeah. And the movement, since I started in 2009, it is really growing, and you have a lot of great artists that they are moving up. But it's going to take everybody to really support Southern Soul artists and support the DJs. The DJs, if it wasn't for the DJs, we would not even be heard of. So you have some wonderful DJs out there, that are really supporting Southern Soul movement. But the money is there. So we need people to really support Southern Soul artists, to go out and buy our music, to even book us. You know what I'm saying? So it's too much money out here for us not to be getting it. And then we, as Southern Soul artists, blues artists, we have to cut all the I'm better than this person, I'm better than that person. We have to do what they did back in Motown with Berry Gordy. It is enough money out here for all of us. It is. If we say, listen, we're going to support each other. We're going to pull away. We're going to make sure this CD, I think you have so many new Southern Soul. I mean, even Tamisha, what she's doing with ZBT. I got to give her a shout out. Because I remember the first one that she had. I was a part of one of the very first ones with Big Cynthia, rest in peace, which was like my big sister. What she's doing, and she's done the movement, is just immaculate, because she's bridging that gap between the blues, the Zydeco, the trail riders, and we're all getting to know each other. So it's very crucial that we support her organization just like we support BET. We need to support the ZBT awards, and we need to support all of the other small award shows that are coming, so that the masses will understand that we are a movement. Exactly. And it's just like when hip hop started, or any other genre of music, soul music. It's just like when, race music first started. I consider Southern Soul like race music. So when, they had to go back in the DJs back in the day, it was unheard of. That's what we're having to do. Your platform of bringing all of these artists together. If we don't do this, then we're going to lose it. Exactly. We are really going to lose it. So, that's the reason people often say, what is up with eclectic soul? Well, I am the queen of eclectic soul. The reason I say that is because I do several different genres of music. A lot of people don't know all the genres, but I do several different genres of music. What is eclectic? Eclectic is a word that diversifies. I am the soul of whatever I do. My funk rock music, shout out to my label, Necromasis, the label that I work with, and to my producers over there. That is a part of who I am. I love funk rock music. My jazz. I love my jazz. Shout out to my band, Core. We have a new project that'll be out the beginning of the year. I love jazz. So I don't pigeonhole myself, but Southern Soul is who I am. I'm from the South. I am from the South. I'm a country girl that live a city life, baby. Yes, indeed. So that's who I am, really. But I am so excited, once again, what's happening with Southern Soul. Southern Soul is moving. Shout out to all the queens. I can't think of her name right now. I'm moving so fast. They have a Christmas CD. We need to go out. Everybody need to buy with all the queens, Nelly Travis, Jesse Terrell, all those people that are on that CD. We need to support it. We have to do this. This is not a choice. Otherwise, we're going to lose it. Absolutely. And that means everybody, everywhere, in every state. We are a movement, and we must stick together. Shout out to Mr. Jerry King, people that are really out there. And I have to also say to the people that even started playing, my music, there's so many great DJs, so many different radio stations. I mean, and it wasn't about payola. It's if you put out good music, they're going to play you. And I know I'm an independent, so I know firsthand, if anybody can do it, I can do it, anybody can do it, because I am truly a statistic. I did not come from any musical background. Nobody in my family on either side plays instruments or sings.
Yes.
So God has a great sense of humor.
He does.
Because he gave it to me. And so I'm so honored to be on this show for anybody and anybody that knows me.
Yeah.
I'm just honored that anybody like anything to come out of my mouth. If I can touch somebody, because music is my ministry.
Yeah. I
do this for the love of it. I don't do it for finance. It's always nice to sell a CD and, get a paid show. Don't get me wrong. But I just love seeing people light up.
Right.
And say, you know what, that song you wrote touched my heart.
Yeah.
This, so I think I love writing first and singing because it's the soul of a person. So I can go on, and I just love everybody in Southern Soul and blues and what they're doing. And I'm just so excited to see us banding together, to see you embracing the show, to see all the DJs, all the people from it, all over. You got some great DJs. The list is so long that are Southern Soul. They're pushing it.
Yeah.
It finally. And, this is just like the beginning, man. So 10 years from now, this will be like everybody will be doing Southern Soul.
Absolutely.
Just like they did soul music.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited to be on the, just on the foundation of it.
Right.
To see where it's went from 2009 to 2020. It is amazing where we are right now.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you're here because you have been a pivotal point when we were having, and you're an advocate for domestic violence.
Oh, definitely.
And we'll talk a little bit about that. I know a lot of women that are watching right now. Over 40 million people are unemployed.
Yes.
COVID has really hit the world. And with that, domestic violence has gone up 3 to 5 times. And it's just been one of those things that has been astronomical. Emergency rooms can't handle a lot of things. Police officers have been, just bombarded from what I understand. And of course, you've gone through that. Let's talk a little bit about that and when that was.
Well, domestic violence is, I think 1 in 2 women have experienced some form of domestic violence at some time. It could have been your teenage years or when you're dating, but we all get in situations.
Right.
And I thank you for bringing it up because you were one of the first people to showcase I'm Getting Up Out of Here, which is a domestic violence song that I didn't write, but I'm very passionate because it was part of my life. So I think that when you get to the point, you have to have the courage to walk away. But when you're down so low, it's very hard to pick yourself up. So I encourage anybody that knows anybody, if you know that they're going through something, I ask you to fill in that gap and go and help that person. And you must go the extra mile because so many times we just turn the other cheek.
Right.
And we have to get to that point when we say, no, this is enough. And sometimes people are so afraid and you just can't move. It's just like you're a zombie. So a lot of women can stay in bad, abusive situations. And I consider abuse physical or verbal. It's still abuse any way it goes. So we have to really start looking out and being our brothers and sisters keepers and say, you know what? And listen to sometimes we hear you, but we're not really listening.
Right.
You have to look at the signs. If you see somebody, their face will tell you, their emotions, because a lot of people are masking. It might look like you're doing well, but on the inside, and that has increased suicide rate. Right. So you have a lot of people, they don't see any way out because you can get to the point, like I say, when you get so low, sometimes it's hard. People say, oh, just pray and God gonna pick you up. Well, let me tell you this. Sometimes God will put people in your life and he'll put it on your spirit. So you have to let that spirit lead you to move and lift that person.
Right.
So if the spirit in you and you walk by and you hear that little voice and say, something is wrong, I need to ask them. And you say, oh, no, somebody else will do that. Then you know what? You just missed out on a blessing, because that is that spirit saying, help that person.
Right.
So we have to be more in tune as people to recognize abuse. Abuse is not physical. I mean, excuse me, abuse, love is not abuse. So if somebody loves you, they're not going to hurt you.
Right.
They're not going to put their hands on you. So we as women have to get out of that mindset. But I have to say that we have been conditioned as a people to think that, oh, just pray about it. It's going to work out. It must be something that you did wrong. If you've been abused, people like to make us think, you know, especially in the South. I mean, especially our community. And I'm just keeping 100, because, you know, I keep it 100 at all times. We have a proclivity to say, just pray about it. But we don't want to give a solution.
Right.
You know, faith without work is dead. So if you know somebody that is being abused in a bad situation and you're turning the other cheek, where is your faith?
Right.
What are you doing? You ain't doing any work. So like I said, once again, I just want to encourage anybody. If there are so many other places, and you know, I know if anybody out there, if you can call the Cam Hill Show. He's got plenty of numbers. Don't take abuse, because you don't have to.
It's true.
You know, you don't have to. And eventually, you know, I know people that have committed suicide.
Yes.
You know, I was not one of those people, but when somebody puts their hands on you, they don't love you.
No.
You know,
No.
so I thank God, you know, that you know, we go through those things in life, you know, and it ain't been recent now. Okay, let me back up, but it did happen. Right. So, you know, a lot of people are not as lucky. Yeah. Some people end up, and I'll say this, and I have a, you know, I write poetry. I have 3 poetry books out. Yes. And I have one of the poems that's in my next poetry book is called My Beautiful Coffin. And this one is about serious situations. And the poem is about a woman that is in a domestic violence situation. And she's basically speaking from her coffin. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so it's a very serious poem, because so many women just go back that one time. Right. And that one time can be your last time. So I say from experience, you can really get hurt, and you can be that close to death. Because I've been that close to death. If a man ever tells you he will hurt you or he will harm you, and if he say he will kill you, you better believe he will do that, because rage is very, very terrible. Jealousy is one thing, and envy, but rage, when people act out of rage, they'll harm you, and till the life is out of you, and then the next thing they know, they don't even know why they hurt you that bad. Right. So I know a lot of people can relate. So I'm just, you know, praying for anybody that's out there in the listening land. If you're in a domestic violence, anybody that's hurting or harm you, please get help. You don't have to take it. Absolutely. You don't have to take it.
There you go. We'll be right back with the Cam Hill Show.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages.
During the season's best sales event, Ron Carter Cadillac delivers 0% APR for 72 months plus $2,500 bonus cash on all 2020 XT4, XT5, and XT6. Or drive 2020 XT4 Luxury Collection only $299 a month. 2020 XT5 Premium Luxury Collection just $369 a month. And first ever 2020 XT6 Premium Luxury Collection just $399 a month. All for 39-month lease with just $1 down. RonCarterCadillac.com.
I'm attorney Willie Powles. Allow me to express myself with you. If you've been hurt or injured in a car or truck accident, give me a call and we'll get it fixed today.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, truck accident, car accident? Was someone texting and ran into the back of you, not paying attention? It doesn't matter what it is. Give me a call, Attorney Willie Powles. We'll fix it today. The number is 281-881-2457. Again, that number is 281-881-2457. We'll fix it today. Call Attorney Willie Powles.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey, thank you so much, family. We are talking to Miss Sharnette Hyter. I'm so excited you're here. So we were just talking about domestic violence. We were talking about the fact about how you got started in music. You love to empower women. I've seen that over queens. You put queens up there and you are really, I'm saying in music, you really love to empower them and support them. Why so?
Well, number one, I think it's very important that I do it because when I started in music, I had nobody.
Right.
So I know how hard it was. I mean, literally, I had nobody. And because I didn't come from a family of music, I literally had to figure everything out myself. That's the reason I give information. People call me all the time.
Right.
And so everything that I learned, I had to learn it myself. And it took a lot of, classes. I went to audio, video, I went to broadcasting school. I did a lot to gain the knowledge, and it was a very lonely experience. So being a very spiritual person, I feel that, the older women have to teach the younger, number one. And then two, it doesn't matter. We have to give the knowledge. What good is it for me to have gained some knowledge and not be able to give it back?
Right.
And I'm constantly still learning a lot. But what I do know, I share it.
Right.
And I think I love all of my stuff. I love R&B, gospel. It doesn't matter. I love music. Music is the key of life. Everything is the essence. Our heartbeat is a sound. So I'm really into sound. I have this really good ear about sound.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so important. I just love to see women empowered, and I just think it's who I am.
Yeah.
I don't see anything else because, like I say, I never thought I would be a singer. I never dreamed that I would even have a CD or I would play on radios or travel ever when I, had record deals or even anything. I just never dreamed of that. So it's a miracle. It shows me the beauty of God because I'm like, he did this for me and I wasn't expecting it. So you just never know what your gift is because God brought that gift out. I didn't know it was in me. I'm gonna be honest, I really didn't know I could sing. So, and I'm still learning. I'm still getting better. And we're constantly in a learning mode. But I just love supporting our sisters. It's just too many times women are stereotyped that we do not support each other. So I like to go overboard and let them know that I am your sister. I'm your sister keeper. If I can help you, I want to help you because those blessings will come back to me. So I think that every woman needs to support another woman. We have to support each other. Because at the end of the day, I think I shared one of my songs, Woman is the Blank of the World, which was a song I covered. But it's that line, it was written by Yoko Ono and John Lennon in the 70s during the civil rights movement and also the women's rights music. So when I did that cover, the line that got me, it said, woman is the slave of the slaves.
Yes.
When I heard that, my spirit just shook because women are the slaves. It doesn't matter where you are, what class, if you're rich, if you're middle class, if you're poor, or even if you're a slave, a woman is still second class. So I think at all times we have to always uplift our sisters.
Yes.
We have to let them know that they're queens. They're not the other word, that we are royal. We are the mother of life. We are the mother of everything. Every man is going to always think about his mother. We are the first teachers. So I think it's very important that we have to constantly lift each other and show sisterhood. And I'm very serious about that.
Right. I love that about you in just talking queendom. you know, just letting other women know that they're empowered, especially in the music business. And music is a business.
It is.
It is, you know, we always talk about the music side of it, but we never talked about the business side of it. And business is 90% of it.
Exactly.
And I know that you've helped several of other artists, just walking them through that process because representation is big.
Yes.
They have to understand contracts.
Yes.
And also how to get paid, because a lot of people, through all of this, we understand, have been taken. I mean, just not understanding, not knowing.
Exactly. And if you are in the music industry, first of all, if you are in the music industry, you must have an entertainment attorney.
Yeah.
If you do not have an entertainment attorney, you're doing yourself a disservice. And then you have to have a team. So shout out to my attorney, Kendall Mentor and Louise Ferguson. I have a team, Harry Lyles. I have a team of media and people that, because you got to be able to listen.
Yeah.
You know, you have to have a great publicist, Mr. Lise Kelly out of LA, we just started a new a record label, Eclectic Rose, will be launching it in January. So you have to have a team of people. You have to have a team of association with great DJs.
Right.
You know, and you have to respect them, and you have to support the radio stations. Let me say this. Shout out to, you know, Steve Savage, KZI, one of the first radio stations, Austin, Texas, that ever gave me a chance. I was also a DJ. I'm a KAZI 88.7 alumni there because they saw my potential back then, you know, and you have to have those great DJs that are out there that are promoting your music. If you treat people good, they're going to treat you. Shout out to Miss Cookie Wright and ATL and the Blues Doctor, all these great people that are out there doing things. Texas Mommy, you know, you got Dr. Nick up in DC. So you have to have those associations.
Right.
Greg Smith, all the people at KNON, once you get out there and they see, you got to have some good music now, first of all.
Right.
So you got to have some good producers. You got to invest in yourself, just like you've invested in this wonderful, magnificent, oh my God, I will be, go to my Facebook page. I will be taking pictures all through. This ain't nothing, especially in that white leather in there. Oh yes, with my black on. It's immaculate. So you have to, first of all, invest in yourself. And when I was doing artist development, and I didn't give this person a shout out, and that's to, he goes by Uncle Funk, but it's Funk Dog now, who had a very popular song on major label. And that's who actually got me to doing Southern Soul. So shout out to Funk Dog, because I never forget where I came from.
Right.
And he was like, man, you're doing this house music. You need to go ahead and you need to go on and do some of this Southern Soul. You know, you got Echo, Malaco, you got this strong voice, do something different. So I was like, okay. You know, I'm just like, you know, because I was into developing and helping other artists.
Right.
You know, because my godnephew was a gospel singer, wonderful Justin White. I love him so, and he's immaculate, you know. So you just go and you put into younger people and other people in their dreams, and your dreams will always come through. I never imagined that doing artist development all those years, doing promotions, bringing in other groups, that I would actually come back and be an artist myself again. But God, what God has for you, nobody can take it away. And when I stopped singing, God said, I'm gonna bring you back to this one day. I was like, okay. I never thought it would be 13 years later, but I never thought it would even happen again, because I have to give a true testimony. When I left New York, I couldn't sing past a verse. So God restored and healed my vocal cords. That's a true testimony. Right. So I don't play with that. So it's like I had willed, and I just couldn't sing. And anybody that knows me during the time I was in the nightclub business and I was doing promoting and bringing people, it's a very few people that knew I had ever sang in Dallas. A lot of people didn't know that I was a singer because I didn't really sing in Texas. So God restored my vocal cords in 2009, and that's how I started back singing again. And he gave me that vision. Wow. And so along with other people saying, go on and sing, come back, it just happened. So I just give all praises to the Most High.
Yeah,
at all times. Don't get it twisted. I ain't never too high, because I give him all the honor, because you can't make it in life if you don't have a foundation of spirituality.
Right.
God gives each of us a measure of faith. So we got to use it. We got to walk into it. And we have to have faith I'm very firm. I stand firm, and if anybody knows me, I stand firm on what I say. We as a people, we must bring music is a healer.
Yeah.
It is a healing to the earth. It is a healing in during all of this stressful time. You know, the enemy is devouring all over the earth right now, looking for all of the obstacles. But we have to say, you know what, greater is he that is in me that is in this world. We have to stand firm. And I tell anybody out there, don't let anything take your power. Don't let anything, because it's all in the mindset. We speak it. So we have to watch everything that comes out of our words. That's the reason I don't do certain type of songs. I don't sing certain type of music, because words are spirits.
Right.
So either we can heal the world or we can harm it.
Absolutely.
So we have to be very cautious of what we're doing and what we're saying and the images that we're giving out. I got nieces and nephews, and I got a daughter, got a one and I have a grandchild, but she calls me Sharnette, 1 and 3 year olds. So, you know, as I'm all of these children and I'm watching them grow up, you know, being a young mother myself, I just, you got to watch the images that you put out, because that's what they're looking up to.
Right.
So, you know, it's very, very important, especially for women. We've got to stand. We've got to show them that they're queen, they're princesses. We're standing. You have honor. You know, you're graceful, and you have to demand that kind of respect. So that's what we have to always be cautious of all of those things. So I'm just really, really excited to, you know, be a part of all of what's going on in the world and everything today. It's just immaculate. And I'm on the Cam Hill show. Y'all don't know how excited I drove down here. It's so beautiful. It is so beautiful in here. It is amazing. I feel like I'm on the Today Show. Everything that I see, you know, watching on TV, I'm actually living it today. Yeah. I'm living it today.
I love your collaboration with Joe Tex. Shout out to Joe Tex.
Oh, that's my brother.
Yeah.
That is truly, God has, you know, put us together. That is Joe Tex Jr.
Joe Tex Jr. Yes.
Joe Tex too is an amazing person. And actually, when we did his dad's song "Hold On" together, it was like I wanted to remake it, and then we talked about it, and I said, well, let's go ahead and do a collaboration. So when we got that, shout out to Mr. Mike Lockett, Lockdown Productions in Lafayette, who put the music together, and the synergy was amazing. We shot the video in New Orleans, and it was just amazing. And he's such a twin of his dad. And so, you know, we're like, that's my brother. That's my soul country brother, and I'm his soul country sister. And so I'm very excited. And I'll say which song we're doing. We're gonna in fact, I'm going back to Atlanta. We started laying down the foundation. Shout out to No Key, who's doing the music, and also to Star Child, who put the music together, who used to actually play for his dad. And he redid the track, and we're recording it. And the song that we're doing on "If You Don't Want the Man, Don't Take the Money," and if you don't want the woman, don't take the honey. So it's his dad was Joe Tex was such a philosopher, and he put it down. His lyrics were just real storytelling. So this particular song hits really hard because you see so much of it today. Everything is so materialistic, and it brings back to the core of don't do it. Right. So that's what makes the song exciting, and the collaboration of where we're taking the song and we're making it out of a duet. It's going to be great. So it'll be out in January.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Let's look into the camera and tell last words to the viewers.
Well, my last words to the viewers are, I love you. I just want to encourage everybody, even if you're not a singer out there today, just through this pandemic, just to keep your faith. Keep your faith and hold on tight. My Aunt Joyce Montgomery, and I love her so much, this is what she tells me all the time. I'm going to share with you. She said, tie a knot on the end of that rope and you keep holding on. And that's exactly what I do. So I'm going to tell you that. And thank you so much. And I just love Cam Hill.
How can they get in touch with you?
Oh, you can get in touch with me. You can go to SharnetteHyterMedia.com. and that's my website. Or you can hit me up on Facebook, Sharnette Hyter, or Instagram at Shar the Superstar.
Sounds good. We'll be right back with Diamonique Jackson.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages.
During the season's best sales event, Ron Carter Cadillac delivers 0% APR for 72 months plus $2,500 bonus cash on all 2020 XT4, XT5, and XT6. Or drive 2020 XT4 Luxury Collection only $299 a month. 2020 XT5 Premium Luxury Collection just $369 a month. And first ever 2020 XT6 Premium Luxury Collection just $399 a month. All for 39-month lease with just $1 down.
RonCarterCadillac.com.
I'm attorney Willie Powles. Allow me to express myself with you. If you've been hurt or injured in a car or truck accident, give me a call and we'll get it fixed today.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service, striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, truck accident, car accident? Was someone texting and ran into the back of you, not paying attention? It doesn't matter what it is. Give me a call, attorney Willie Powles. We'll fix it today. The number is 281-881-2457. Again, that number is 281-881-2457. We'll fix it today. Call attorney Willie Powles.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Man, I'm so excited. Sharnette Hyter, that's who we had just a little earlier. The subject today is never give up. And as you heard Sharnette telling of how to never give up, now we have Diamonique Jackson. Hello, lady.
Hello, how are you?
I am so excited you are here. Man, you have some great music. A lot of people have been telling me about Toasted Up, Toxtails, Love Jones. I mean, they have been telling me about all your great music. Let's talk about it. How did you get started?
Oh, okay. Well, like most, I grew up in a church. I was a church. So I started off with gospel. And then I started venturing out because I love music so much. I said, well, you know, my grandma was like, wait a minute now, you ain't gonna sing gospel no more. I said, you know, I still love the Lord or whatever. It ain't like that, but there are other genres that I enjoy. So I traveled on. I started singing more like classical and choral in school, performing arts schools in Memphis. And then I went on, you know, kind of just broadened my horizon of, because I would believe when you love something, you can't just love one part of it. I'm like, I love music. It's rock that makes me feel good. It's R&B, it's soul. Anything that I could tell from the heart, I could really vibe with it. So I just started making my way with singing, and I went off to college, got a full ride and studied music. I said, okay, I like it, but being an artist wasn't really in the plan. I just love music. I was kind of playing behind the scenes and just finding my way with it. So I keep traveling. I end up graduating, and you know, you start working and all that. And I kind of didn't forget about it, but you know, life happens, and you like, okay, I know I could sing, but it was one of those things. I said, well, I'm not sure exactly, like how Sharnette said, I don't know if this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
But I'm just going to keep traveling and we'll see what works. So I would always sing, but it wasn't what I was doing first.
Right.
And things happened and life happened, and I started writing on lunch break. I was teaching at the time as a music and vocal instructor. But it was like that little thing in the back of my head. You know how you feel like you're doing what you're supposed to do, but you're still missing something?
Right.
And I couldn't put my finger on it because I said, well, everything in life is going well. I mean, I have a job and nothing's going wrong. I'm in good health. What could possibly be wrong? But it was that urge, like when you have a relationship with God, and shout out to Sharnette, I was listening to her speak. That's your spirit.
Yeah.
When you know when something is off. And I said, well, I'll start writing. But it was weird because I said, you're gonna start writing. When did you become a songwriter? Like that's what I was always saying in my head. Like that's just waking up and saying I'm gonna be a carpenter. And you're like, oh, okay. Well, do you know how to measure anything? You know. So it's kind of like I was inside of my head.
Yeah.
Betting on myself. I didn't know what I could do. And the honest thing I'm learning in life, you never really know what you can do until you try.
Right.
So started writing the songs. And I studied people who resonated with me growing up. I've always had an old soul. They used to call me the young girl with the old soul. And I said, I don't know where that came from, but it is a part of me. I finally accepted it. That's who I am. And I started writing, and I didn't know, I wasn't thinking about whether or not it was going to be good or bad, or I wasn't even thinking to please others. I just know I trusted my own inner self. I said, I know good music because I know when I'm listening and when it feels right. So I started writing, and as producers, there's one producer, shout out to him in Memphis, Tennessee. His name is Charles Streeter. We were working at a summer camp. He said, you said you want to work on your music? And I was like, oh, I forgot I told him that. It was like, oh, I was just talking on lunch break, but I was like, sure, let's do it. We got in the studio. I wrote one song, Give Me a Sign, and kind of just testing myself out slowly to see if it was good. People believed it. Then we got to Toast Up. I met Adrian. He said, wait a minute. You know, you're a songwriter. You know, when people say stuff twice, I guess they have support. You know, like you're a singer. You know, they say, you're a songwriter. And I said, oh, I mean, I write songs. I guess if that's what you believe, I just do it because I love it. He said, it's something in you.
Yes. And
you have to have those people in life who tell you that, because you can know or think you know. Right. But we don't always know. But that's why it's good to have a good support system and just good people around you to see what you can't even see. And Adrian, he took it on the way, and we've just been rocking ever since and writing songs, and it's been working out for me.
Well, I tell you what, I have had, just like Sharnette was saying, she loves your music. She's a fan also.
Thank
I
you.
love queens when they're uplifting each other. We were talking about that earlier, just queendom, just uplifting each other, just letting each other know that you're a queen too, and I can help you, and it's no judgmental. It's just, I want to celebrate you.
That's it. And there's a room, what people don't understand is there's room for all of us to win.
Right.
And it used to sadden me going in certain arenas where I would be with other sisters, and I come in with my Southern personality. I think it is the Southern thing too. We come in and just come, hey y'all, and you know, all vibrant and get other energy, and you kind of like, you know, from sisters sometime, and it was sad to me because I'm like, you know, I'm coming in with this, and like, it's not I'm trying to be this or I'm trying to be that. I'm like, I feel good about me, and I want to feel good about you too. Like you shouldn't never have to step foot in any place where you should feel like you should have to dim your light, or because there's another woman, or there's enough room. There's so many different voices, so many different lanes for you to shine. Just walk in and shine and do your thing. So I admire her for saying that we are so much stronger together, and I love women. I love it.
I love that. I love that when you said that. Going through this music business, and we were just talking about that with Sharnette, talking about the business side of it. Music is great, yeah, but it's 10% usually of the music business. 90% is the business side, representation, contracts, and things like that. And unfortunately, along the way, many of us have lost a lot for the business side. What have you learned?
Yeah. Oh, I've learned so much.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, coming in, didn't know much. Like I said, it was just kind of like the girl with the dream. I know I have talent. And like you said, talent will get you only so far.
Yeah.
So one of the things I've learned first, especially being a young artist and I'm still flourishing and getting to know big business, you must set boundaries.
Yes.
You must set boundaries. Sometimes when you come in, you're so eager to be in that it's like, oh my goodness, okay, I have to say yes to everything because I don't want to miss an opportunity. We're all like that, because you don't know when you're turning the wrong thing down. So I was like, oh, I'll do that. And I'll do that. I got you. And I take care of it. And you learn once you start learning your value and your worth and you start saying no, things start to change. Or when you start putting a price, everything doesn't have a price, but there comes a time you have to say, wait a minute, I can't do everything.
Yes.
And I'm one of those, I love music so much because I love it. I'm like, oh, I want to be at this session. Oh, I want to go write that song. Oh, girl, I got you. But you have to have you too. You have to make sure you leave enough room. You can't pour from an empty cup. So one of the biggest things, setting boundaries, and I don't have it all together, but I learned that fast. And thanks. I learned that very quick. I said, oh no, this ain't gonna work. I'm tired. I'm so tired from writing y'all songs. I don't have enough energy to write my songs.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. That's not fair to me. Because like I said, the Southern thing, you want to be nice to everybody. And I am nice, but you can be nice and cordial, but nice plus boundaries.
Exactly.
Nice plus and still support your sisters at the same time. So
there you go.
I'm walking. So boundaries and knowing what you want. Oh, that's another. Knowing what you want. And you don't always, I will say, there comes times in life where you take breaks. And I believe that's the purpose for breaks. When you've written all the songs, after you've done all the shows, or the world slows down, like now, what none of us were expecting, I had to sit down. And I said, okay, I've written singles, but I was really ready to do more in the writing field. I said, I feel like there's more in me, but I don't know. So we got to get to it. So I did have to isolate myself to focus on me.
Right.
So I can get my feelings and my artistry out as well, because you have to believe you deserve it.
Absolutely.
But
I love that. I love that. How did Toast Up come about? How did that song come about, the writing, and what is it about?
Toast Up is a love story. I'm not sure if you've seen the video.
Yes,
the video, when people hear it, they're just like, oh, it's so sexy. And I said, oh, y'all, okay, sexy is one part of it, but behind sexy, there is I always like to promote a message, whether people can view it as good or bad. Art is art, how I look at it. Think about your experience as your experience. You shouldn't be afraid of it. So I use music to be that open space for me to get out my experience. So Toast Up came about. I was seeing somebody that I had a liking for, and I didn't even want to admit it to myself at the time. I was acting like I was like, I like him. I ain't looking like that. He ain't know that. But I did like him, and I started writing, and sometimes I'm not as conscious. Everybody has a different writing pattern. That's why I love teaming up with other female or male songwriters, because everybody has a way that they work. So for me, I never know what I'm writing up top. I always write the whole song. I'll hear something that inspires me, and I have to go back. I'm like, where did all that come from? I'm one of those people. I'm like, where did all that come from? And I said, oh, that came from that experience.
Right.
So, that's the way I write, and I have to go back. So I've never gone into a studio and I sit down and hear something and I say, oh, I'm going to write about sadness. I'm going to write about darkness. It's not that black and white. I just open myself up to creating. And when I listen to it, I get in the zone and I just let my heart, let my mind and soul do the talking. And it's been working out.
Well, I tell you, I love it. What about Tox Tales? Love
Jones.
Tox Tales. Yes.
Love Jones. Oh, I love it. Okay, Tox Tales. Ooh, and that took a lot out of me. Now, I've been writing that. Those are some of those pieces have been written for, I say about 2 to 3 years. They've been saved under voice memos under my phone, like in my phone. And you know how, like I said, I was so busy trying to write and help everybody else with their projects. I would just save my stuff in between sessions. Like, okay, this is an idea I got, but I'll release it someday. But quarantine and making us sit down, it forced me to try to bet on myself and put that same energy into me that I give so freely sometimes to others. So I said, okay, well, let's go back. So I had to go back all the way to 2018. I said, girl, you should be ashamed of yourself. All these songs in here. Yeah. It's sad. There's so many songs and incomplete songs. I said, why don't you complete something for yourself?
Yeah.
So that was the ministry behind it. So Tox Tales, it was inspired by a lot of stuff that I've been through in the past, during the writing process, some in the present, and what I'm looking forward to in the future. So sometimes in life you get your fairy tales, and sometimes in your life you get your toxic tales. We all have experienced at some point. So that's how I came up with the name. I said Toxic Tales, Tox Tales, and I said that sounds kind of funny, but all right, whatever. Let's see how people gravitate to it. It sounds cool to me. So it tells a story, kind of showing from like the metamorphosis of a girl to a woman. Right. She comes in toxic at the beginning, saying, "Guess who's back? Don't tell your girlfriend." And when I was writing it, I was like, "Girl, you don't say nothing like that." But I said it's a story. I really wanted to challenge myself to give that, like, the storytelling and fantasy of like the Michaels and the Babyface and the wait and exhale vibe. And so I just let my thoughts, I studied them. I listened over and over. I went back and listened to interviews. I said, how did they write things that were so good? And it just, like I said, it started flowing. We got to Manipulator, which is my favorite song on Tox Tales. Yeah. But it's really just a beautiful development of growth as a woman in my personal life and musically.
I love the way that you really write, and just your songs, just the whole CD and everything sounded just fantastic. I mean, and by you being, as you said, a new artist, you really, I mean, your music is timeless.
Wow, thank you. That's the biggest compliment. That's the greatest compliment you can give to someone who loves music, because you never know what people are going to like. I think that's the thing. Sometimes we get too wrapped into people pleasing, and I've been a victim myself, because the thing is, when you're writing something, it's like you're having a baby. It's like you don't want nobody to talk about your child. That song you created, it's that same birth process. It's like, when people hear it, I want them to like it. But what I'm learning is, whatever you believe in the creation process and how you execute what you believe, they have no other choice but to feel it. And you can get locked in. My music is really, if you think about it, it's not the most current sound, but it's my sound. And I feel confident in the lane of music and the time of music. I've studied the great people who've come before me. So I'm very excited to actually find my place and get started in this and have longevity, because I want to do music forever.
I love it. I love it. What would you like to leave with the viewers?
So much, but I'll make it quick. Find yourself. Even if it takes time away from people, it's a selfish choice, but you deserve it, and people who love you the way they say they love you, they should be able to understand those quiet moments when you need, even if it's months, 3 to 6 months, it's not easy to do this. If you want to go to that deeper realm place to make sure things are you got to be in tune with yourself. And sometimes you can't have a lot of people around you talking because you'll miss your own mark. You already have everything inside of you you need. Trust it even when you're afraid. Trust it when you don't have the finances. Trust it when you don't have the resources, and go for it and let go.
Sounds good. How can people get in touch with you and buy your music?
Okay. Well, y'all can find me. It's Diamonique Jackson, DIA Monique Jackson on Instagram, Facebook. That's the name I came in the world with, so y'all can't miss it, okay? You can find me everywhere, on all platforms, and I hope you support good music.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you. Shout out to Adrian Meeks for putting us together. Lady, you have a whole world in front of you. I'm so proud of you. God bless you and God keep you.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
For the opportunity. Hey guys, next week we're going to have a great lineup starting with Chandra Corelli, Gerald Albright, Steve Rogers, locally here, and all of the above. Take care, 12:30, 1:30 Central Standard Time. Bye.